Hi, this is Brent with Studio One Expert, and in this third video of this 4-part series looking at the Abbey Road RS124 Waves compressor, I'm going to be showing you how we can use this on our overhead track here and using a neat little trick that only Studio One is capable of. So, got the track here, let's just have a listen bypassed. Okay, so we can hear that we got quite a bit of the kick and room sound in the overheads, and I'm going to be bringing this out more on the room channel in the final chapter. So I definitely want to high pass and get rid of a lot of the low end on here, and also I want to make it smooth on the top end. I don't want to make the compressor make this really harsh and brittle. So let's load up the RS124 and just have a listen straight away as to what things are doing. Okay, I'm going to click the expand. I'm going to sidechain up to about 60 because there's not a super amount of the kick, it's more the room tone. Okay, I'm going to drive the input a little bit now. I'm just going to back off the output there and make up for the gain. I'm going to stick with Studio on here because I'm not too worried about the transient of the material here because we have it a lot in the individual channels. Okay, I'm just going to drive the input, back off the output. Okay, I like that, it sounds good. We have no issues in the low end. We've got some nice glue and the overheads sound a little bit more tamed, but the only thing I'm noticing is we're getting a little bit too much sibilance, I feel, in the top end, and I feel like it's not as smooth as I'd like it to be. So rather than creating a channel here and then putting an EQ after it and affecting the entire signal chain, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to splitter, and this is unique to Studio One. What I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to put the Abbey Road here on the left side of the splitter, click on the splitter, and what I'm going to select is frequency split. So channel split would mean that only the left side is being affected by the Abbey Road RS124, but I don't want that. I want to have both sides, so a stereo image being affected by the compressor, but I want to have a frequency split. So what I can do is, if I select the splitter here, I'm going to just bring down the channel 1 frequency range, which it's occupying, and let's have a listen to what this is doing. So I'm going to roll off from 15 down to about 10, and that way the RS124 won't be compressing any of the high end stuff. And let's just set this to 0. Let's have a listen now. And we have to go back to the plugin and take it out of bypass. Okay, back to splitter mode. And I can actually do some parallel compression here by bringing down the level of number 1, which is the compressed version, and I can adjust number 2, which is just the normal uncompressed state. So let's play around with that. Now I could do the parallel side of things within the Abbey Road plugin in the mix here, but I can't do the sidechain on the low pass, I can only do the high pass. Okay, let's hear how that sounds in context for the whole kit now. Just bringing up the overhead there. I'll bring the overhead down now. Okay, so we can still hear our hi-hat there, it's nice and present, but it hasn't got the sort of brittle quality that compression would do to an overhead track. And that's a nice thing about Studio One when we're using any plugin, is we can use the splitter to adjust either the channel or the frequency range that a plugin is occupying without setting up a lot of effects tracks where you might have to do cuts depending on which area you want the plugin to occupy in the frequency range. So think about using the splitter when you're using the Abbey Road 1S24 because it's a nice way of controlling not just the low end but also the high end information.